Welcome back, learners. So let's understand today what motivates an attacker. When any word is associated with the word crime, there has to be something which is related to actus and mens rea. Widespread of cyber crimes has landed most of the technology users into trouble. Cyber crimes can be related or associated with offences related to property, reputation or public morality. Cyber terrorists have their clear agenda which is more dangerous than ordinary cyber criminals. Cyber hacking and data theft are the region where everyone feels cool or amazing. However, when such aspirants fall into the domain of unethical or illegitimate hacking, then it is not so cool. So let's understand the psychology of a cyber terrorist. A cyber terrorist aim is social, political or ideological. He uses the information to achieve a goal and to compel governments or states to reform or change their policies in accordance with the cyber terrorist's goals and demands. This is one of the main reasons why terrorists target the innocent population. The state's primary liability is the safety and welfare of its citizens, and disturbing their calm weakens the people's faith in the state, increasing doubt about its reliability. The victim of a cyber criminal is usually an individual or a business, bank or educational institutions, and rarely the government. A cyber terrorist's mind and motives are vastly different from those of a cyber criminal. While the goal of a cyber terrorist is to terrorize the nation and terrify a portion of the population in order to achieve its goals, a cyber criminal often lacks mens rea and commits crimes out of desire and to learn more about the mysterious world of cyberspace, and has nothing to do with political goals. Whereas a cyber terrorist goal is to destabilize the economy, which is the backbone of nation's existence. Furthermore, cyber terrorists engage in criminal activities in order to raise revenue for their own illicit purposes and to strengthen their financial base. We all know poverty is one of the root cause of inequality and thus leading to crimes. Many of the cyber crimes such as ransomware, phishing and data theft can be motivated by monetary gains. Nearly 3/4 of cyber attacks are primarily motivated by monetary gains, such as stealing money from bank account, stealing credit card information, causing data breaches, demanding ransom and so on. Hereon, the report of what you surf is made and your interests are monitored according to the big market players buy this data to dominate and facilitate their own business. Moreover, out of their own lust for money, cyber criminals hack your internet banking accounts and make huge money. Money can motivate almost everyone, young and elderly, male, female, people from various socio-economic classes. So we need to break this category down further to get useful data. A seasoned scam artist or a skilled digital hitman can considerably differ from what a white collar criminal is. Hackers frequently gloat and demonstrate webmasters gap in the site, demonstrating that they are better technocrats than those who maintain the sites. Companies largely ignore radical cybercrime because its purpose is unrelated to financial matters. Okay, let's understand what are the purpose, or let's say what is the motivation behind these attacks. So one of the major motivation is business competition. Hackers are occasionally used by firms to undertake penetration testing of their own security, but they are also frequently used for corporate espionage. These hackers hire themselves out as mercenaries to tear down the competition because they are too financially motivated. DDoS cyber attacks are becoming more and more widespread as a competitive business strategy. Some of these attacks are aimed at preventing competitors from competing in important events, while others aim to shut down internet enterprises for a month of time. In either case, the goal is to wreak havoc and attract competitors, customers to your site while causing financial and reputational damage. The next motivation is political. As cyberspace becomes increasingly militaristic as a means of achieving geopolitical goals, we will definitely see more and more nation states malware spreading up, according to Robertson. Political motive for cybercrime can be seen as two levels, at the state actor level and at the non-state actor level. political motivations are intimately linked to emotions at the level of non-state actors, as peoples can become quite passionate about politics. Politics and foreign policy urge countries to utilize sabotage and espionage to preserve political or military advantage of the state actor level. Cyber attacks backed by the government are being used to silence government opponents and internal dissent, as well as undermine critical financial, health and infrastructure services in adversary countries. These attacks are backed by nation states, implying that they are well funded and well planned operations carried out by tech savvy individuals. China and Russia have been identified as cyber warfare leaders, with significant departments dedicated to development of cyber warfare capabilities. Titan Rain is a well-known Chinese espionage operation. Since 2002, China has launched a series of attacks on US Department of Defense dubbed Titan Rain. War defense attacks include disrupting supply chains, destroying centrifuges and other tactics. One pertinent example of such a motivation is the Stuxnet virus, which was discovered in 2010 and used to damage Iranian centrifuges. The next motivation for attacks is insider threat, professional dissatisfaction, the idea of being unfairly passed up for a position or being fired all can be triggers for insider threats. Unfair treatment or the perception of unfair treatment can lead to a desire of vengeance, which they can use as justification for criminal acts against organizations. Insider attacks are one of the top security concerns for 51% of IT workers, according to CyberArk's 2018 Global Advanced Threat Landscape report. The insider may have been recruited by another company or may have decided to steal information and or intellectual property in order to sell a competitor company. An interesting factor for motivation is revenge. Cyber attacks can be used as means of extracting vengeance or venting rage. Spurned lovers or spouses, disgruntled or fired colleagues, unsatisfied clients, bickering neighbors and angry students about poor grades are just a few examples of attackers. Even a loss while playing online game can lead to a cyber attack. To avoid sanctions and to enjoy the dread and worry that an unknown assailant causes, cyber stalkers never divulge their identities. When a person is bullied, harassed, humiliated, intimidated, shamed or targeted in some way by another person utilizing modern communication tools like cellular phones and the internet, it is called cyberbullying. An attacker can use cyberbullying to express his or her frustration, hatred or despair. Hackers can use cyber attacks to get their voices heard, whether it be for political purpose, religious beliefs or personal grudges. Sexual gratification can also be a part of motivation. To discover and acquire information about possible victims, sexual predators leverage the availability of personal information, anonymity and sometimes uncontrolled access to social networking sites and the internet in general. This category is significantly distinct from the others in that it includes some of the most vicious cyber criminals, serial rapists, sexual sadists and pedophiles. Child pornographers can fall into this category or they can fall into the money category if they are just profiting off their sexual urges of others. Then another part of motivation can be nuisance or just destruction. Some people are intrinsically motivated to attack an organization or a person only for the purpose of causing them chaos and ruin. The renowned bank robber Slick Willie Sutton is a perfect illustration. There is an urban legend that explains why he robbed the banks. When questioned, he allegedly replied that he robbed the banks because there is where all the money is. In truth, he admitted that he just enjoyed to rob the banks. Money was not a driving force for him. The sense of accomplishment that comes when breaking into the huge system motivates some hackers. Some people operate in groups or on their own, but they all want to be recognized at some level. Lastly, for ease of committing offense, people just commit cyber crimes. To attack their final target, cyber criminals commonly employ proxies and other technologies. Systems are hacked in order for them to attack other systems. The hacking of a botnet machine is simply exploited to aid the launch of another attack. Another example might be someone who sells illegal goods on dark web. The frequent compromise of a system in order to install hidden services can be one of the reasons. Conclusion for this particular motivation is the list of motives cannot be exhaustive and articulated in fixed compartments because there is increasing advancements of phases of cybercrime. One can compare how motives behind the crimes other than cyber related and cybercrime are different but not exactly opposite. Motives cannot be simply selfish but also calculative, one to commit offense having wider impact. In other cases, it might show how competencies of hacking skills can prove. Behind any crime, prosecution has to stretch their hands to establish motive behind the alleged act. However, in case of an internet crime, the motive is not steady as it is expected to be. In most of the cases, it has to be deduced from actus rea, which may land into trouble with the jurisprudence laid down. That is, crime cannot be committed unless there is a mens rea. The job is of the court and investigative agencies to ponder upon or establish the motives, and thus in case of internet crimes the burden of defense is reduced comparatively. Thank you for being with us. See you soon.